This is the Sony a7IV. It's the camera I'm shooting on, it's the camera that's dominated the market for the last few years, but with competitors up in their game and with Sony themselves set to release some new cameras in 2025, if you haven't heard the rumours, click the video here, then the question remains, is the Sony a7IV still the best camera choice in 2025? Since its release in 2021, the Sony a7IV has been one of the big players in the market. It had improved autofocusing capabilities, they tidied up the menus. It was a great video and photo camera. It was pretty much everything that creators needed. But as we fast forward a couple of years and as the market's changed, there's been a boom in mirrorless cameras. The likes of Canon and Nikon and Fujifilm have really delivered and have brought in some different features, updated sensors, and even integrated AI into their cameras. The a7IV came in at a competitive price point and it offered that insanely good autofocusing system. And that was incredible in 2021. But a couple of years later, we look and we see Canon have released the EOS R5, Nikon have released the Z9. There's over 45 megapixels in those sensors and they can also shoot at 8K. And all of a sudden it doesn't look nearly as impressive. Now, of course, the Canon and Nikon models are a little bit more expensive, but you see what I'm getting at here. And as technology moves and more camera models enter the market, the price point seems to be getting driven down and down, which means that Sony's advantage of having top-of-the-line cameras at a competitive price point is not so much a thing anymore. But don't discount the Sony a7IV just yet. Even though it is a couple of years old, it still holds its own. So it's got that 33 megapixel sensor, it can shoot video on S-Log3, and it's got 10-bit color. There's also the autofocusing system, which is probably the reason that a lot of people got drawn to it initially. And so until a new Sony camera comes out, it's still one of the best in the Sony range. The menu system also seems to be laid out quite well. So if you're a beginner photographer, then it is quite easy to just cycle through those and to find all the options you need, and it doesn't feel overly complicated. Beginner or professional photographer, videographer, the Sony cameras also have a wide range of lenses that can be used on them, which means that whatever your creative vision or whatever your style of photo or video is, Sony will have a lens that will allow you to capture that. But the a7IV isn't without its flaws, and it does come with some really frustrating things. So one that particularly springs to mind is the overheating issue, which has happened to me a couple of times when shooting video, where the camera just overheats and then decides to shut off. Now, that isn't ideal in a camera model, and you know, it is pretty frustrating when it happens. But unfortunately, it's one of those things that you have to deal with if you do decide to buy the a7IV. When comparing the a7IV to newer camera models, of course, there is some trade-offs, and in particular on the burst modes and the capability in low light. Now, some of the newer models have obviously moved on a little bit and, you know, are a little bit better in those areas at the moment. But the Sony camera does still offer incredible image quality and usability, so even in 2025, it's still an excellent choice. So if you're looking for a camera at a really good price point that offers a nice blend of video and photo, then the a7IV is likely still the perfect camera for you. Now, if that overheating issue is something that would drive you absolutely crazy, then maybe it's better to look at some of the newer camera models on the market. Personally, I absolutely love the a7IV, and I think it's treaded the line very nicely in terms of price and capabilities and, you know, being something that offers both video and photo at a pretty high level. And so for me, I think I'll still stick with the a7IV unless Sony release something drastically better. But for you, that might be a completely different story. I'd love to know what you think. So what is the best camera in 2025? Let me know in the comment section below. And purely for the purpose of appeasing the algorithm, can you please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and follow along for more.